nature came from the Middle East.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Chris Rush, All Hands on Deck Radio, YouTube page, news. How you guys doing? I am here to bring you the weekly update of what's going on with All Hands on Deck, and to kind of bring some headlines, in my opinion, about what's going on with the abolition movement, or what's going on in the topic of abortion in our nation. So I'm going to be mixing up. The other weeks I've just been kind of focusing on what we were doing. I'm going to kind of mix it up in every week and do a little bit different. So this week I wanted to talk about a couple of headlines that I've been getting tagged in on Facebook and people have been sharing with me. But sometimes when I get when I see something, sometimes my heart, I can't take like the craziness, more craziness. I had to actually just kind of take a step back and walk away. And I get upset and I get wrapped up in it. And so sometimes it takes me a while to actually process or even want to look at the continuing evil that's going on in our world. One of the big headlines this week was the news that came out that Oregon has been using aborted fetuses, babies, incinerated and somehow to produce electricity for their state. And you know, the national media picked this up. I saw what Glenn Beck said about it, saw what other people said about it. They get it from Britain or something like that. They get aborted babies from Britain. They come and then they disintegrate and they produce it, the energy to produce electricity. This is not conspiracy. This is real. You know, I sorry you guys. I look at that and I go, well, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if we already as a nation holistically don't care about the death of children in the womb? And I even mean some of us who are pro-life and blah blah blah, because if it was really a priority, it could be done with, you guys. There is a real way we can abolish this thing. It's actually putting focus on it and actually demanding it for be taken care of now. We have to get to a place where we are done with this thing. We can no longer allow it at all. And when you get irate and when you begin to use your talent, when you begin to take this all hands on deck word, when we say all hands on deck, use your gifting, use your voice, get loud, because this is normal. And I love what my brother Steven from Abolition Abortion on the Society in Portland said. He said, well, what is the difference? When we get mad about Hitler, I never hear anybody get mad at like the Nazi Holocaust because they burnt up and they incinerated the bodies of those children. I never hear anybody say, you know, that was really messed up how they burnt them. No, it was messed up how they murdered them. It didn't really matter. I mean, it didn't matter in one sense how they were buried or how we don't go, man, I wish the Nazis would have took better care of their dead Jewish people. No, we said it was wrong for them to murder them. So we're making this is headline news for I don't know why, because we're mad because we're using the babies for electricity. Monstrous, you guys. Like I said in that one video, we're worse than Hitler. We're worse than all those people. We get mad about the way they use electricity. How about we get mad about the murdering of children? What do you think is going to happen? You guys, it's going to get worse. It will get worse. It's worse. I don't know how worse it could get than killing babies in the womb, but guess what? The worst is you are nothing and you should be, you know what, we need electricity. Let's just kill you. The next headline that people were tagging me on is Josie Cunningham, a British person who wants to become a celebrity, and she's pregnant. I don't know if she still is pregnant. Made national news this past week or two, declaring that the abortion that she plans to have will further her career, and that instead of taking care of baby, she'll be driving a pink Ferrari. Whatever car she said, and living in a big house because she wants to be part of the British TV show Big Brother. Headline news for that. Oh, you know, you guys, it's just. I hope it just wakes us up. I guess the only thing these headlines can do could kind of wake us up, because this is why people still have abortions every day. These are the excuses we hear all the time, is that it's about your career. What about if a woman's it's gonna ruin her life because of she's in school? What if she's 16 and it's gonna ruin her life because da 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 da? She's only doing what all of us are doing, in a sense, all of us in America, that's a norm. That hey, kill your baby. If it helps you, it's about you. This is why we call it child sacrifice, you guys. This is why we call it child sacrifice, because you're sacrificing your child for a gain, for a financial gain. And she's manifesting that. What she's doing is evil, and what we're doing is evil. And so, nothing more to say to that than everyone's guilty of that pretty much, because at the end of the day, the 56 million babies killed in America all go back to selfishness and greed and money. She's just on TV saying that. Alright, to the news of what's going on All Hands on Deck. We won't be going out to the high school this week. We're going to just kind of take a tone back, and going to be focusing on some other things right now. But we will be going to the abortion clinic, and you are so welcome to come. Please do come. We're going Wednesday from 12 to 2. We're going Friday from 12 to 2. And we're also going, and we need people on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Please come out to one of those times. We need more people out there. We need to be a witness. If, I saw abolishment and abortion stats the other day. If 3% of the American church just showed up to an abortion clinic on Monday, they would have to shut down, because it would be massive. And part of us going after abortion is going to the clinic to love our neighbors, to be there, to plead to our neighbor, not to kill our neighbor, to kill their own child, and to be there to pray and to ask God and to do your part into possibly preventing that death, or at least being there carrying God's heart while you're at the abortion clinic. Real excited. I just wanted to make a quick note too on politicians and things like that. Yesterday I was able to run into two politicians, one Republican and one a Democrat, and I noticed that for both of them, I almost had the same message for both of them. The Republican one, was very clear to me that he was pro-life, and that that was one of his tenets, but I made sure he understood that I'm an abolitionist, and we're calling for the absolute abolishment of abortion, and we're no longer trying to do any regulations. We no longer want to endorse anybody who has any type of exceptions, that this thing needs to be abolished now. And it's kind of encouraging, because as I was talking to him, he was like, you know what, like, he was like, I've been on such and such committee for 15 years, and all we've got is that a woman has to know something. That a woman has to know, I forget what he said. He says, that's sad. I'm like, yeah, exactly. How long is it going to take to abolish, look, it took 41 years for Texas to abolish 21-week ban. How long is it going to take to get a 12-week ban? And how long then till we just abolish abortion? We need to just demand it. And it seemed like that people who are pro-life are getting encouraged by that, and I believe are very close to becoming abolitionists in that idea, because they realize that this is that the mainstream way of doing this is not working. I also got to talk to a Democrat about abortion, and you can check out my video. I should be posting a video soon, if I haven't already, regarding my conversation with Congressman Keith Ellison, and had an interesting conversation that was mainly my-sided, because he just was kind of playing it safe and just kind of hearing me out, and then he said he'll think about it. That's pretty much where it came down to. And so you can check that out. I did record it, and so that's what you can do. Special report that on May 17th we plan to try to have a huge abolition meeting, all hands on deck meeting here at my house, so we could meet and talk about the actual plan of what we're actually going to want to do with abolishing abortion. I really do believe that this is something that God wants done, and I actually have a plan of how we could go about it. It's going to take hard work, but I believe within a short time span that we can really push, not just legislation, but push and begin to change the culture, to begin to demand for abortion to be abolished, to begin to make abortion a horror in the hearts of men, of people. So I'm really excited about that. So mark your calendar if you're in Minnesota, May 17th, 11 a.m. We're going to have a meeting here at my crib. I'll be posting that address another day, but get ready for that. It's going to be awesome. And I'm looking for a campaign. I'm looking for the weak. I'm looking for those who aren't that awesome and who are saying, you know what, I can't do it all, but I can do something. And that's all we need. And last thing I want to encourage us with is that God is on the throne. God is God. He is eternal. He's mighty. He's powerful. And He desires for righteousness to reign and justice to be given speedily. And I want to encourage us that this thing will become abolished, that abortion will become abolished, that Jesus is coming back, and God is able. To God, nothing is impossible. And it is possible for God to use our weak efforts to abolish abortion in our day and age, so our children won't have to live with this. And one thing I felt in my spirit, what God gave me a mission to aim at, is in abortion before I had to explain it to my son. My son's a month old. Let's get it, you guys. All right, Chris Rush, Mary Whoville, 40 years is enough. It's time to end abortion. It's time for all hands on deck to begin to raise our voices. You are needed. If you're watching this thing, you are the resistance. You are the movement. You are the A-team. It is now the go time. Let's get it.